Hi, my name is Anna Hellman, and I really appreciate you being here with me today. Stampin' Up! Recently came out with several chicken sets that are absolutely adorable, and I've made some cards with some of the other ones, and I'll link you to 2 other videos here with some other chicken cards that are amazing. But I haven't used this Hey Birthday Chick set yet. So it was time to make something with this set, and I have come up with an amazing project for you that involves a fun fold and some pop-ups and all kinds of really cool things that you are not going to want to miss. So we are going to get right into this. Tell you what we need for this project. We need a piece of cherry cobbler cardstock that measures 11 by 5 3/4. We're going to do some scoring and some cutting on this. You need a piece of crumb cake that measures 4 by 5 1/4. You need small pieces of crumb cake, 2 of them that measure 1/2 inch by 2 inches, 1 that measures 1/2 inch by 2 1/2. You need a few strips of soft suede that measure about 3/4 of an inch by 5 1/2. And then you're going to use the die from the Peonies die set. I have it right here. This die right here to make that ruffled edge. In addition to this, we will have a few die cuts. I have some little fence die cuts here out of soft suede that I use this chicken set to create. I have already created my chickens. I stamped them with Memento black ink. I die cut them out, and then I use my blends markers to color them in. So we'll need those. We also need a few die cuts that I have used our rainbow glimmer paper to create. I use the streamers and this cute little happy birthday die cut. I love that one, that little happy birthday. So this is what we will need. We need several adhesives, and let's go ahead and get started. So let's use this card base piece first. We'll need a scoring board. We're going to do a little bit of scoring, then we'll do some trimming, then we'll do some more scoring. So first, I'm going to lay this vertically in my scoring board, and I want to score it at the 1 1/2 inch mark. Then I'm going to turn it horizontally, score it at 2 3/4 and 8 1/4. Now we're going to turn this back vertically, and I missed one. We're going to score also at the 3 inch mark. Now we need to do a little bit of trimming, and then we will do some more scoring. So we are going to trim down on the corners where there are a couple of different score lines. We are going to trim all of that section out. We want to leave the big square on the bottom right that you can see. And we want to leave these center sections, which are now in my hand, that will eventually be the top of the card. Okay, same thing on this corner. Trim this out. And now I want to fold this together how our card is going to lay. Then we will do a couple more things to get this looking exactly the way we want it. So first, this is going to be like a modified gatefold, Dutch gatefold card. If you've ever made a Dutch gatefold card, it has a part that folds down at the top and a part that folds, or parts that fold in from each edge on the bottom. So let's fold those 2 edges in so that they meet. If they don't quite meet, you want to force them so that they do meet, and then score it so that it's going to hold it in place. And then fold this piece down. So we are making a hen house. I haven't actually said that yet, but this is going to be a little chicken house, and I'm super excited about it. Now that we have this, we want to measure in. We want to measure in from the edges. We're going to trim off the top corners to make it look like a roof. So we need to measure in 1 1/4 inches from each end. Now you can use a ruler. I've done this several times. I'm going to use my mat here. So 1 1/4 inches in from each end, and then down at the bottom, we are going to trim this off where that flap ends. So I am going to start right here where I made that mark and trim straight towards the corner of the flap and cut all of this off. Same thing on this side, start at the mark, trim over and cut the rest of that flap off. If you want to make yourself a straight line to trim off, or if you want to use your trimmer to do this, you can absolutely do that. Now we are going to bring our scoring board back in and add some scoring lines. I want this to look like a barn, like a little chicken house. So we're going to add in the scoring lines that will help make this look like our hen house is made out of wood. So open this up, lay it in your scoring board, and you're going to start at the 1/2 inch mark and score every, I'm sorry, you'll start at the 1/4 inch mark. You're going to score every 1/4 inch. So you score at 1/4 inch, 1/2 inch, 3/4 inch, 1 inch, and so on. So I'll do this all the way across the base of this until I get to the top. And then I decided I wanted to keep on going. You don't have to do this, but if you want to, if your scoring board is the same as mine, you're just going to score every other line once you get up here to the top, where you can't really line up with your measurements very well. So now we have those score lines all over this card base. Now we're going to attach our roof. Let's decorate the outside of our card and then we'll get on to the inside. So I want to add this. I'm going to add the bottom strip first, then layer this one over the top and layer this one over the top. So I will add, I don't want to put adhesive right on the very edge because I do want to let this hang over the edge a little bit. So it's up to you if you want to use tape or glue. I think I'll use glue just to give myself a little bit of wiggle room when I put this down. Like I said, I'm letting that hang over the edge just a little bit. And I'll make sure my glue didn't come out, and it didn't. Okay, so same thing on this one. And on this one, I'm a little bit less concerned about my wiggle room, so I think I'll actually go ahead and use some tape. So you want to overlap a little bit, but you also want to make sure that you're going to have plenty of space to cover up that top with your next one. So I do need to bump that up a little bit, looks like. Okay, so I'll stick that down, run some adhesive here along the top, add this last one, and I just want to align with the very top of my card. So we'll press that down. Now I want to flip this over on the back side and trim off these pieces so that they're even with the card base. Just on the edges, not down there at the bottom, of course. I want to leave that part hanging over. And look at that. We have our cute little hen house with the roof. It is starting to look adorable. So the next thing I want to do, I want to take these fence pieces and put them across the front here. And then just to make sure I like how this looks, I'm going to lay it out. And I want to add this cute little chicken with the cupcake. So I think I'll lay it over top here on the one side. And we can add this happy birthday greeting over here on the other side of the front. So we'll add these. Now with these little fence pieces, when you die cut these out, there is going to be one extra little piece sticking out the edge, and I cut that off. The reason that extra little piece sticks out is because you can cut several of these and attach them all together, and it will look like one continuous fence. But since I'm not attaching more than one together on this, I didn't really want that little piece, so I cut it off. Stick that down. Now, if you are forward thinking, and since I'm giving you a heads up, I would suggest creating these die cuts with your adhesive sheets on the back. That's where you attach an adhesive sheet to the back of your cardstock before you do your die cutting, and then it turns it into a big sticker, so they're really, really easy to attach to your projects. I was not thinking about it when I created these, or I would have put my adhesive sheets on first. Now I'll put some dimensionals on. I am going to let his little tail feathers hang over a little bit. I think I'll put him down here so it looks like he's in front of that fence down lower. And this one right here, it would have been fantastic if I had used my adhesive sheets. That's okay. This glue is so nice and sticky. I just put it in a few spots and it always holds really well. And we'll put this happy birthday over here. I am loving this card. So this is the first one. I have not actually finished one of these cards to see the completed work. So I'm really excited to do it right here with you. And you can see it with me. Now for the inside of the card, we need this piece, the crumb cake piece that measures 4 by 5 1/4. And you're going to measure in from the edge 1 1/4 inch, measure down from the edge 1 1/2 inches. You need to do that on both of the top 2 corners, and then either using your trimmer or your scissors, trim these off so that this will lay nicely inside of that card base. So check and make sure that looks okay. Okay, and it does. So I'll go ahead and attach that. And then we are going to create a pop-up mechanism to attach our chickens to the inside of this card. So here are the pieces. I have 2 of them that are 2 inches long. One is 2 1/2 inches long. So they need to be scored at 1/2 inch, 1 inch, 1 1/2 inches. And then this longer one also needs to be scored at 2 inches. So I'm going to bring in some glue dots, and I want to put a glue dot on one end of one of these, and on that same side, one on the other end. I want to fold those pieces in. So right now my glue dots are on the top, but I'm going to turn it so that my glue dots are on the bottom. And I want to line up that middle score line with the score line of my card. Give it a good press, glue it down. Now when I fold this, that is going to pop up. Want to do the exact same thing with this next one. Fold those over so they're on top, fold them over so they're on the bottom, and I want to put this one down here in this corner. Fold that in. We have another little pop-up mechanism. Now with this one, we need to do it a little bit different. I'm going to put one glue dot on the bottom here, and I want to fold this into a box and overlap the other end. Press that together so we have a square. We can fold that back and forth. Now, under that area where they overlap, add another glue dot. And for your placement of this, you want it to be down under somewhere underneath. I like to lay my balloon on here, fold this closed, and then it needs to be somewhere underneath where this chicken is going to be. So I'll put it right here. I can fold that down flat and give it a good press. Now to attach my pieces on the top of these, my little chickens that are going to pop up, I want to put a glue dot on top. If your pieces are folded straight up and down, you want to put it on those areas that are flat, the flat areas that your pieces will be stuck to, not the vertical pieces. So I'm going to put one glue dot on each of these pieces, and this is going to make it really easy to get our chickens stuck right there on top, and they won't scoot around at all on us. So when you attach this little chick, you just want to make sure it doesn't go past the right edge of that crumb cake piece, your little pop-up mechanism. Because if it does, when you shut it, it is going to get crushed. So don't go past the right edge. Then on your balloon piece, make sure your balloon does not go past the top edge. And I'm going to push this one up as well. They both need to be folded up for this to work correctly. So make sure your balloon goes right up to the edge of that, but not any farther. Stick your chicken in place, and we have this fun little chicken that goes back and forth. Okay, now I'm going to add one little thing, and it's a greeting that I love from this set that says, "You're still a spring chicken." We'll stamp that right there on the inside with some Bermuda Bay ink. So, love this. I hope you love this too. You'll definitely have to try this out and let me know how it goes. We'll get this little tail feathers folded back out. So you can find links to all the products I use for this card in the video description below. Make sure you subscribe to my YouTube channel and like, comment, and share this video. Hope you have a wonderful day, and I will see you again next time.